Good evening and welcome. My name is Thomas Dietert. I'm a certified high performance coach. And tonight I'm here to talk to you about don't smash your face, let someone else do that, and other helpful self care tips for men. So, I, I'm a coach. I market my coaching business online on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And I was doing my morning routine, which includes some meditation. And during my meditation, I was just reminded of this quote by Tony Horton during a P90X workout routine where you're lying down on the ground and you basically have these weights and you're doing tricep extensions over your head and you bring them back down. And he says, if you're getting tired, don't keep going because the weights will crash down on your face. And he goes, tip of the day, don't smash your face. Let someone else do it. And I know it sounds silly, but it just made me laugh when I was working out. And it just came to my mind when I was doing my morning meditation. So I thought that's just a nice way to break the ice and potentially get someone to read my posts. Because in the world of personal development on LinkedIn, especially, there's just a gazillion and one people out there trying to sell you some sort of solution to all your problems. And I'm actually reminded of a summer job I had many years ago. I was working for a heating and air conditioning company, a very small business owned by one person. I was working for with the son of the owner and one of the other senior technicians, and we had to go for a supply run for a job. And on the previous job, I noticed that the blades for the sawzall were like dull and useless. I saw that the step ladder was completely like garbage. It was worn out. And so I bought, I, on a purchase order, of course, I didn't have any money, but on a purchase order for the company, I bought what I thought we needed. And the son and the coworker was like, you're going to get in so much shit, Tom. Going to flip when he finds out what you bought. I go, how else am I supposed to do the job? And it was funny because payday rolled around and we got paid every Friday at the end of the day. And the old man's, who bought all the new equipment? And they're all like pointing at me. And he goes, it's about time you guys got some decent step ladders and better blades to do your job better. They were cower fear of someone misjudging them, judging that person, thinking that doing the cheapest thing possible, spending as little money as possible was exactly what he wanted. And yes, he didn't want us buying new service vans or anything. But at the same time, if you can't do your job, get the right tools so you can do the job effectively. Time is money. That stuck with me for a very long time. That lesson about doing what I thought was right. And also realizing that on the job, and actually, quite frankly, in your own life, time is money. Time is a currency that we have that each one of us gets the exact same amount of time every day, 86,400 seconds, if I remember correctly. We all get that same amount of time every single day. Every single time planet Earth rotates around its axis, 24 hours, we all get that same amount of time. It doesn't matter if you are the richest person in the world. It doesn't matter if you are a mother or a father with three young kids and a full-time job. It doesn't matter if you're a university student, a college student. It doesn't matter if you're a bum in the street. You get 86,400 seconds. Part of my morning routine also includes trying to find a short inspirational clip just to get my mind in a positive mind state. Because I don't know about you, but I don't always wake up in the best of moods. And you can let that ruin your day, or you can take charge and go, I'm going to set my mind straight by getting some motivational material into me. And that's what I did this morning. And then this morning, I came across one of my old mentors, Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, and he was talking about this 24 hours. He goes, you show me what you do in your 24 hours on a daily basis, and I'll tell you where you're going to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years, the end of your life. He was very blatant. He goes, the only difference between Oprah and someone who isn't making it is Oprah uses her 24 hours wisely. I have to agree. I was in San Diego. Yeah, it was the San Diego waterfront for Influencer 2019, and Eric Thomas was the second last speaker, I believe, on the second day, but I could be wrong about that. But he was definitely the second last speaker. And he's on stage and he's telling this story about how his wife and her kind of a mystery illness struck her down. And he found out that the best treatment possible was available in California, Southern California. And everyone's saying, "Oh, ET, you can't afford to move down there. Everything's so expensive, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada." And he's just, "Watch me." And he was down there actually to speak, but also to meet with the builder to start on their custom home in Southern California. Because if his wife's best treatment was in Southern California, that's where she was getting it. And he was going to bust his ass to make it happen. He had a purpose, he had a mission. And he asked the crowd. I mean, if you ever heard ET speak, he's just in your face and he is powerful voice, demands your attention. And I was there and he's going, "How many of you, by a show of hands, are giving your dream, your purpose, your mission 120%?" And maybe in the sea of 1,000 people, half a dozen hands went up. He goes, "What about 110%?" Then he went down to 100 and 90 and 80. And when he's down around 60%, I sheepishly raised my hand. And that hit me. Is if I was being honest with myself, I was giving my coaching business maybe on a good day 60% of my effort. And that's why I was getting 60% or less results. I wasn't crushing it. So that left an impression. And in fact, to be perfectly honest with you, when he was done speaking, I couldn't stay for the last speaker. I actually had to go up to my hotel room and lie down. That's how strong his message hit me. So, what does this have to do with don't smash your face? A lot of us, we may not smash our face, but we smash our brains with choices that we make, with things that we say to ourselves. Our self talk, for example. We don't always say the nicest things to ourselves inside our head. There are things we'll say to ourselves, "Oh, friggin' idiot, how could you forget to do that?" You wouldn't say that to your best friend. You wouldn't say that to your coworker. You sure as hell wouldn't say it to your boss. You might think it. You sure as hell wouldn't say it to your boss. If you are the boss, you might say it to yourself in that case. Our self-talk is something that we have complete control of. We just don't realize that we do. And we can say some pretty deprecating, self-defeating things to ourselves. Self-care is more than wash behind your ears. It's more than getting a $200 spa day. Self-care is taking care of yourself in even the littlest ways that matter, like waking up a little bit earlier in the morning just to have enough time to enjoy that cup of coffee and plan out your day. If you're really proactive, you might want to ensure that you have a healthy lunch ready the night before. You may have pre-cooked healthy meals for the week. Setting yourself up for success would be a form of self-care that I think is very important. Making sure that when you go and get your groceries for the week, you've planned out, not down to the molecule, but that you have healthy options available in your house so that when you finish your day at the office, when you finish the day on the job and you're tired and maybe you're a bit hangry and you're a bit cranky, that you don't just stop at the 7-Eleven and pick up the sugary junk that you need just to get your brain a little more energy so you can get home. And then you buy things you wouldn't normally buy if you were in a better state of mind. You wouldn't buy those chips. You wouldn't buy that bottle of wine. You wouldn't buy that sugar laden soda. There are simple tactical things you can do to improve your chances at success through better self-care for yourself. I think I'm going to wrap it up here for tonight. It's getting pretty late on my end. But if you found any of these comments helpful, please comment below. or drop me an email, vivascoaching@gmail.com, and I'd like to stay in touch. All right. Take care.